to start is the issue of the school. We had a school previously before independence, which was stopped after independence due to other issues. We need a boarding school. This boarding school will assist the mission, the community at large.
This is one of the oldest school blocks, and the other one at that side.
I'm Father Andrew Basir, was ordained on 12th July 2008. Currently, I'm at Marymount Mission. Marymount is one of the oldest missions in the remote diocese of Chinhoyi. It was established in the late 1940s. It serves a total of 16 mass centers. The challenges we are facing here right now, we have one labor car, Land Cruiser.
I'm Father Benton now, a priest I'm in charge of St. Rita Parish. Here we can do a lot of projects, but the main problem which we are facing here is the water. We've got a very big tanks. This one can contain up to 70,000 liters. We've got also another down there, the other tank, which can also contain 70,000 liters. We've got this one, also it can contain 10,000 liters of water. But all this, most of the time, all these things, they will be empty just because we don't have water. We've got a bore down there. With that.
That is not project. Muno madiri kugara muno muna unyasonaka nokuti ndogara mupuricheta hapana zuva rinombouya kwadziri nguruve dzinoda kubata.
My name is Father Ignatius Cariati. I'm a priest serving Mount Darren Parish. Basically, we've got about 42 outstations in this parish, and the furthest being Mukumbura is over 100 kilometers. And the nearest outstation is around 35 kilometers. We are traveling a lot, and at the same time, we are using one vehicle, and in this parish, we have about 3 priests. We also look at the roads. The roads of this parish, most of it is dust road, and they are not tarred road, which means we need also vehicles that are of high profile. And having one vehicle in this parish and about 42 stations.
Working in the Diocese of Chinhoyi. I was ordained in 2011, and I was assigned to St. Albert's Mission, and I'm working at St. Albert's Mission. I'm involved in pastoral work. We face some challenges, especially when it comes to the roads that we use when we're traveling to our outstations. Some of the roads are very bad, and the type of vehicles that we are using are not suitable for those roads.
This is the Catholic Church.
Vakakomberedzwa navarimi vanorima munomu, asi vanongogara vachirya muriwo usina mafuta. Chiri chikonzero chokuti mashops munozonowanikwa mava kuvakurira ivo. Notachikumbirawo kuti dai zvagona taibatsirwawo here nomushini wamafuta kana.
Father Martin Mshawasha, the parish priest of Msande Parish here in Mzarabani. And the furthest outstation in this parish is Chimbuwe. The kilometers from here, they are about over 100 kilometers. I think that would be the furthest outstation in this parish. The problem we have is that the road is not very good, and using the kind of truck which I'm using, the challenge is really you would need a good car which can help you to go to all these centers without any major problem, because when the car is not in very good condition, then you struggle really to go to one center in the other.
Toilets moyo Musande parish iwawo makomba maviri anoshandiswa nevanhu vakawanda zvikuru kana paine chiitiko chinenge.
It's okay.
My name is Father Samuel Nyadzayo. I'm staying at St. Raphael's Mission, Chitsungo Mission, with Father Goodluck Smoko as the superior. The mission is in a remote area, one of our remote areas in our diocese. One of the major problems that we are facing concerns pastoral work. It is not easy for us to reach to all our outstations, about 26 of them. It's very difficult to reach all of them because of bad roads. And besides bad roads, the faithful themselves, they cannot provide enough for us to go around. But at the moment, the parish is to start an irrigation project, and we hope this is going to boost our work in the parish, as the project will provide enough for pastoral work and even to help the faithful, because we live in a very poor community.
Project yekurima mombe. Ufunga tatine chiuyo chekuti tikatanga nemombe 10 maheifers imwe chete tichirenja pa $500. Saka ari 10 maheifers waya anogona kutiburitsira 5,000. Yes.
Ndinonzi Father Brighton Chibondo. Furthest outstation is about 80 kilometers from the parish main center. I've realized that the greater part of the roads ndikufamba mu road yakaipa zvikuru. Kumwe kwacho haugoni kutopinda nemota. Unotozoti rega nditosiya mota pano ndifambe netsoka. Munharaunda ino imwe project ingatipe mari zvikuru tikawana rubatsiro i-conference center. Pane ma-NGOs akawanda anouya kuno.
St. James parish yakati kurei, inowanika kune ma-mines nekuma-pras manyowani resettlement. Saka ma-mines atinawo anongova ma-mines chete, vanhu vari muvese vachasevenza.
Pataurwa nyaya yendiyewo zvino zviri nani ndezvaigone tabatsirwawo kuti pakati pahoro iyoyo tokwanisawo kuwana zvimwe zvatingaite zvakaita sokusona. Tatawanirwa mishini takwanisa kusonawo, dzingave uniform dzevana vechikoro kana dzemaholi kana mayouth. Izvo zvine dambudziko rekuti maholi edu haana.
Ndo toilet yeparish yese patinoungana tiri 2000 haikwani vanhu vatinawo kuno maparishioners edu akawanda 2000.
I'm Father Frederick Mabiri, the parish priest of St. James Parish, Torashanga. St. James Parish is a parish that is characterized by a great number of problems emanating from the poor economic situation in our country, which has actually resulted in a number of people losing their jobs and becoming jobless. 30 years after it was created as a parish, it does not have the outlook of a parish as such. All we have on the ground at the main center is a small thatched chapel which holds less than 100 people. On the other hand, we have the priest's house, which has only 3 bedrooms, and whenever I have visitors, I have real problems.
All the time we want to travel, be it Shita, be it the youth, be it any other group here, there's no transport. We have problems of transport. And if we can manage, maybe when we fundraise we get money to buy our priest's cars, we can also extend to get even a bus for the parish.
which can be hired out to a lot of other people, even can benefit us as the cathedral.
We only have 2 toilets and 1 little sink. Look at the broken window. You know, we are almost 1,000 parishioners, and I don't know how we can really manage to utilize the 2. And watch, the beams are almost falling. Again, it causes danger to the parishioners.
I'm Father Dominic Manza, a priest of the cathedral. I'm residing here and working here. There is need for the projects here at the cathedral so that we can have somewhere where we can draw some water. Rather than you giving us the fish, but if we are given the rod, then we can fish for ourselves. Our cathedral is quite small, and it does not need any renovations, but we need a complete new cathedral, which will accommodate quite a number of parishioners, especially when they come for the Christmas masses.
We are St. Peter's Parish. Our parish is very big. We have got 11 sections in our parish and more than 1,500 parishioners paid at this center. Our major challenge is we don't have adequate water.
And the other challenge that we have is about the toilets.
We also have a challenge of our preschool. It needs to be revamped. Since we are now in the new era, the modern era of technology, I think there is need for improvement so that our creche can also attract a lot of people. Yeah, as you can all see, this is the building, the creche building. You can see it's dilapidated, and one can't live, you can't really leave your child here and say, I'm sending my child to a creche like this one. Kids who are coming in, and the play center is also a danger to the kids because the swings can loosen up and...
So this is the building, the toilets, which I was saying it accommodates 1,500
parishioners. My name is Father Andrew Chiwona, the current parish priest of St. Peter's Parish. In our parish, as priests, we are 3, myself, Father Kizito Mangava, and the deacon. We also have a pastoral sister Romia. So as a parish, if we could have something like a borehole that would be drilled within our parish, I'm sure that will help us to ease some of the challenges we are facing. We can start other projects like poultry, gardening, and we have students, university students around. We have students from the Catholic University, students from Chinhoyi Technology of University, who are facing a serious problem of accommodation. And our parish, with the vast land it has, if we could erect a flat or a storied building so that we can accommodate these students who are in dire need of accommodation, that could help us as an income generating project.
This is the building of the church.
Sister Hilda Manu, ndinogara pano pa St. Kizito sa pastoral worker. Ndinofamba tichienda kuma outstations edu. Chinyapo wandofunga nezowa ndo atingati ma outstations ari kure kure. Anogona kunga ari kuma 35 kilometers kubva pano. Maproblems atinawo separish ndeyekuti zvinhu zvedu hazvinyatso tifambiri zvakanaka pamusana pekushaya mari. Tiri kuda kuedza kuti tiite maprojects anoita kuti at least vawane zvinhu zvinovabatsiridza muupenyu. Maproject akaita sehuku kana nguruve kana kurima matomatisi maonyedze zvinhu zvatinogona kutengesa kuti tiwane mari inotibatsiridza.
As you can see here, the dilapidated toilet which has been used by the kids and the preschool.
Munoona kuti kuno uko hongu kumusha hako asi sevanhu vari pedyo nechipatara nezvikoro
zviri pedyo tikakwanisa kuwana pekuti tiitire kantini yedu pekubikira zvakaita sana sadza dai ingave tii panenge panoti madhiringiwo tunenge turipo ipapo zvinobatsirawo kuti vose vanenge vachishanya kuzoona varwere vanenge vari mukati vaida kuwanawo zvimwe zvokuwedzera kudya ipapo kunyange isuwo tinenge tauya kuno kuchechi tabvawo kure tisati tadzokera kumba tichida kumbowanawo
self-reliance is solved if you pay your contribution. Yes. In 2012 we had an average of $335. In 2013, between January and February, we had an average of $300. And this year we have an average of $278. $50 down. And then you look in the greatest center here. In 2012, $366 Mugove. Last year, $340. This year, $265.
I'm Father Paul Mairesa, SJ, working at the Sacred Heart Parish in Bangkit. Sacred Heart Parish is found in Bangkit. Bangkit is a small farming town surrounded by farmers. A lot of the farmers who were around here were commercial farmers. Now we have got the indigenous farmers around. This diocese of Chinhoyi used to depend very much on catechists who were paid catechists. Now that is gone. So we have to depend on voluntary catechists. So we have to find a way to train more catechists. People are willing to help. But of course, in terms of time, we know they spend most of their time fending for themselves, looking for bread and butter. So to get a lot of people dedicated to this work, you need really to have a lot of persuasion. But so the idea of our parish is to try to train as many as we can.
I am Father Ignatius Mwanda. I was assigned to this mission in 2011. And the first thing I observed was that the house in which I am living, priest house in Butama, it's not appropriate, because whenever you want to have seminarians who come here, for their pastoral experience, if nowhere to put them. And also the other thing which I experienced was this, that we have 9 outstations. Kutama Parish has got 9 outstations. And there are occasions when we come to a certain place to do our functions, Easter, the Transfiguration, all those feasts in the year, calendar. But the place which we found very convenient is a place called Masiarwa. And now when these people from these 9 outstations come together, you will find that the church will be full, and about half of the Christians will be outside, and they will be celebrating Mass in church, while the other half is out of church. So it's really very inconvenient for the parish to have such situations all the time. So we discussed in the parish council, and then the people said, I think the best thing we can do is to extend or to build a hall where whenever these 9 stations come together, we can have enough accommodation.
Cemetery place at Butama, where our beloved departed brothers and priests are resting. We pray for the repose of their souls. Amongst the brothers and priests who are resting here, we also have our beloved, the late Bishop Eomat Rector.
Parish yedu inonzi St. John's. Parish ine vapristi vana. parish ine ma-outstanders anokwana
tauri kuita vanhu kuti takakomberedzwa nevanhu vanorima. I was thinking nezveidea yezvigayo kuti tine mazone 1, 2, 3 kuti pane each zone poita chigayo pazone 1, chigayo pazone 2, chigayo pazone 3. Izvi zvichizotibatsira kuti zvinenge zvichizobva ipapo zvoita kuti tizotangawo mamwe futi kana zvokuchengeta huku kana kuchengeta nguruve zvinenge zvichizobva pane zvinhu zvinenge zvichibva kupi ikoko kuchigayo.
Well, this is the toilet at St. John's Parish, Alaska, which has been mentioned before in the discussion. As you can see that it only have 2 seats for ladies and gentlemen. So the need is there for this toilet to be renovated, if possible, being demolished and built another bigger toilet with bathrooms.
Harris Mushawasha, parish priest at Alaska, St. John's Parish. We are 4 priests. If we have 4 cars, we can penetrate deep within, and we can even establish something even there. Some faithful are zealous, eager enough to cater for us, but they can't start from nothing. So I was thinking Alaska would supply even the diocese with quite a number of things.
Ndichitarisa matambudziko ari paparishi pedu pano, chekutanga ndinoda kutaura nenyaya yekuti parishi yedu ine dambudziko rekuti
It's a farming area. Saka tikanyatsowana ma-imports akati kwanei tinokwanisa kurima tichikutengesawo tichiwana mari.
Kupfuwa mombe munokumbira project nokuti mombe inogona kuzvifurira dzatinotora nguva refu kuti ipinze mari, but kana dzatanga kuberekana zvakadzendekanya kuichengetera pakati yenake munoita project.
Father Sebastian Majiga. This is Christ the King Parish, Mangura, the diocese of Chinhoyi. It's a good place to be, but being 2 priests, we have 15 outstations. Of the 15 outstations, only 1 is a church where the people worship God. The remaining 14, some attend church in schools, some in homes, some in built shelters. The challenges we face at the major center where we're speaking from now, one I would call it space poverty. The parish yard is just small. We are in a view of speaking to the council so that they may, if it is well with them, extend our yard. There is an urgent appeal. Water gives key to our stay and all or everything we may think of in this place.
And this is the structure of the blade toilets, which have been mentioned before in our discussion. As you can see that there are 2 for ladies and 1 for men, which is quite a big challenge at this parish, Christ the King.
I am Reverend Father Shikumbora, currently the Mission Superior St. Boniface Mission. St. Boniface Mission has got 64 outstations. The furthest outstation having 210 kilometers. Being a rural mission parish, the roads are very bad, are in the bad state. So sometimes I find it difficult for me to reach some of the outstations because of the kind of car I'll be using. So it's my wish that if I can find a Land Cruiser I'll be able to reach those areas. The projects in my mind, mainly pig project, even market gardening, that will help us as a mission to pump some funds to make the parish go on.
Kana zvimwe zvinenge zvichitwa zvinobatsira mari kuti tinokwanisa kuvandudza mission yedu.
Dambudziko rimwe ratinaro kumushuwa nderenyaya yemota. Vapristi vedu havana mota dzavanadzo hadzitoiti. Tawana mota ine mavhiri akakwirira kuitira kuti kumwe kwacho kwanoda kuna Sanyatu hakutomboiti kuti motikari diki ine mavhiri akadzikira iyi.
The priest house at St. Boniface Mission really needs some renovations. As you can see, the ablution of the priest's house, and this is the toilet and the tub, which is just a health hazard situation. So if the grants permit, if you can have some grants, it is really a need for the renovation of the priest's house. This is the structure of St. John Catholic Church in Chirundu, an outstation of Kariba Parish. St. John is located just at the border of Zimbabwe and Zambia, Chirundu border posts.
My name is Father Bondi Sam, working in Kariba Parish, and the parish has 3 urban centers and 1 outstation, which is about 165 kilometers away from here. This is a tourist resort place, and it's really a very big parish in terms of the workload, although geographically it may be very small. But we also have challenges, and we need to develop and maintain the place. But that is proving to be a challenge, given that the Catholic population is not very big. Currently we have small projects like one for t-shirts, selling rosaries, and the poetry project is doing well, but it's proving not to be enough. We wanted to erect a parish wall, but it proved to be a challenge to the small Catholic population. And currently at the parish house we have 3 stands, and 2 of them are not utilized. It will be very good and to the advantage of the parish and for self-sustenance if we could develop, say, guest houses or lodges on these 2 stands which we already have. Thus we have a starting point, but the challenge is capital.
I understand by now you have literally visited all the parishes in the diocese as the diocesan bishop. What would you like to share about the socio-political situation affecting the parishes and missions in the Diocese of Chinhoyi?
The socio-political situation as distinct from the pastoral situation. You can't separate the two completely, but you can distinguish between them. The socio-political situation is best described by the word difficult. Our diocese has been classified as Agricultural Region 5, which is the poorest quality of soil, producing only a limited number of crops if the rains are present, and often they are not. The other factor is that much of our diocese was deeply involved in the Liberation War, being situated in the north and northeast of the country, where most of the so-called operational areas were located. And the war took a heavy toll on the population in our diocese, in the sense that many of the young people who went to Mozambique for military training did not return, and very often their families did not know where they had fallen and where they were buried. I know, of course, the area around Marymount a little bit better than most of the others, and for that area I can say that 4 out of 5 young people I taught in our study group in the 70s, out of 5, 4 did not return from Mozambique. And when I returned for the 3rd time to Marymount in the 90s, I noticed that a whole generation of what would then have been a middle-aged group was missing. You could see the very young and you could see the very old working in the fields, but that middle generation who would take social and political leadership, they were missing. And a third important factor, culturally speaking, is the fact that because our area was heavily involved in the Liberation War, the Rhodesians punished the people heavily by burning their villages and killing their cattle, by infecting them with anthrax during the war. So that when I came, even as late as the 1990s, that is over 10 years after independence, there was not a single head of cattle between Marymount and the Mozambique border, a place like Mukosa. So that was the situation around the turn of the century.
Thank you very much, Sekuru. You highlighted the issue of droughts being characteristic in the major part of the Diocese of Chinhoyi. What would you suggest as intervention measures that would help alleviate the situation?
I'm not an agriculturalist, and what I can say is what other people have told me, especially our own priests, who are interested and knowledgeable about, interested in agriculture and knowledgeable about it. What I think is perhaps the most effective way is intensive farming and gardening in relatively clearly defined, maybe even limited smallholder plots with the help of irrigation, which can now be made to function with the help of solar energy. As you know, Baba, we have tried this in 1 or 2 places, and through Caritas and also through some of our parishes. And that approach seems to be working, to select a small area with relatively good soil and do intensive farming or gardening there.
The cathedral would basically be the nearest parish from your office, which is less than 1 kilometer, and the furthest would be more than 400 kilometers. And that's the parish you served the longer part in the diocese of Chinhoyi as a priest. What would you share about the distances priests are traveling and the transport situation in the diocese of Chinhoyi?
You've put your finger on a sore spot as far as the economic and financial situation of the diocese is concerned, because of the vast distances, not only from one parish to another or from Chinhoyi to all our parishes, but also within the parishes, from the central mission station to the outstations, necessitates a form of transport which we simply cannot afford. The type of vehicle that we need, robust four-wheel drive in quite a number of the more remote rural areas, we cannot afford. And the impact on our vehicles, given that the roads have not been repaired for 10 years or longer, so for instance between Chitsungu and Kanyemba, the outstation near the Zambezi River, makes those 100 or 120 kilometers an incredibly heavy journey, both in terms of time and in terms of wear and tear on our vehicles. So I would say among the economic and financial challenges that the diocese is facing, that of transport is probably the most critical.
For the benefit of our audience in Deutschland, may you share a bit about the situation of the diocese as a whole in Deutschland?
Ich bin jetzt 8 Jahre Bischof gewesen und freue mich darauf, einen Nachfolger und hoffentlich einen unserer Priester aus Zimbabwe, einen Einheimischen, hier in diesem Haus zu begrüßen, der dann von mir die Arbeit übernimmt. Es sollte ein Einheimischer sein, denn als ich diese Arbeit begann, vor 8 Jahren, habe ich mir und der Diözese versprochen, dass, wenn irgend möglich, mein Nachfolger ein einheimischer Priester sein wird. Wir haben in den letzten 3 Jahren versucht, einen passenden, geeigneten Priester zu finden. Dabei haben sich alle möglichen Schwierigkeiten ergeben. Dann wurde der Nuntius abberufen im September des vergangenen Jahres und sein Nachfolger ist gerade erst hier eingetroffen, sodass in den dazwischenliegenden 10 Monaten der Prozess zum Stillstand gekommen ist und jetzt wieder neu beginnen muss. Es dauert im Durchschnitt 1,5 Jahre, einen eigenen Mann zu suchen, die nötigen kanonischen Informationen einzuholen und dann vom Heiligen Vater die Approbation zu bekommen. Es sollte ein einheimischer Priester sein, weil nach meinem Ermessen der Übergang von einer Missionskirche in unserer Diözese zu einer einheimischen Kirche, Ortskirche, nahezu vollzogen ist. Obwohl die Diözese jung ist und weiterhin die Unterstützung unserer Freunde und Wohltäter in Deutschland brauchen wird. Aber um diese andauernde Unterstützung zu bekommen, brauchen wir nicht einen deutschen Bischof, scheint mir. Unsere Missionsprokur in Nürnberg hat fest zugesagt und immer wieder versichert, sowohl hier vor Ort als auch in Nürnberg, dass sie einen einheimischen Priester genauso wirkungsvoll unterstützen werden, wie sie das den beiden deutschen Bischöfen gegenüber, Bischof Helmut Rector und mir gegenüber, getan haben. Sodass ich gerne diese Diözese in die Hände eines einheimischen Priesters übergebe und mich freue, dass die Arbeit weitergehen wird und dass vor allem bei dem Prozess der Inkulturation, den wir sind jetzt im 2. Jahr unseres 5-Jahres-Plans, Pastoralplans, in dem die Inkulturation eine wichtige Rolle spielt, und dafür braucht es bei allem guten Willen eines ausländischen Bischofs, dafür braucht es einen einheimischen.
Thank you very much, Sakuru.
You're most welcome.